Well, hey everybody, and I'm so glad you joined me here for the free training today. And if you don't know me, my name is Dorinda Smith, and I'm that autoimmune disease research scientist who wound up getting her own set of autoimmune diseases, but then learned how to heal. So it's my goal for the day today to help you to get that same spark of hope that I got when I first learned how to heal. And so I promise you that if you stick around until the end of the training today, which it's going to take a little more than an hour, but if you stick around, you're going to learn a lot. And I promise you, I'm going to give you some information that will change your life. So here we go. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. There we go. All right, the first thing that I do have to say legally is that everything I'm about to share with you today is for educational purposes only. So let's get excited because there are brand new medical discoveries that are available to help you. The biomedical literature is literally exploding right now with new discoveries, and we're living in a very exciting time in medical history. These old dogmas are being replaced with brand new information, and that information is saving lives. Now, how do I know this? Well, because it's my job as a research scientist to keep up the latest biomedical advances, but also, I also suffered with my own set of 7 autoimmune diseases, but I reversed them using this new science. So the first thing that I want to tell you is it's not your fault that you're sick. It is not all in your head. I don't care what the doctors told you or made you feel like, okay? It's not just stress that's causing your illness. You are not weak. And let's remove the confusion about this today. The truth is that you can take back control of your health. With the right help, you can learn these new medical discoveries. You can follow a personalized step-by-step plan to recovery, just like I did. You can take charge and you can actually change your health. You can reverse your symptoms and you can prevent future illness in yourself and your children. And guess what? You really can get your life back. So I don't want you to miss a word of our training today. If you commit to stay and learn all you can today with me, I promise at the end, I will show you the most cutting edge and affordable way to start feeling better and get your health back. And this is a personalized step-by-step plan. It's designed by the top experts at the Institute for Functional Medicine. And this has worked for hundreds of thousands of people around the world. And I used the same step-by-step plan to get my life back, and you can too. So let's just get real here for a minute. Big Pharma is making a lot of money when you stay sick. Now, okay, don't get me wrong, pharmaceuticals, they save lives and they can be a big help to us when we're chronically ill. But when it comes to chronic illness and autoimmune conditions, pharmaceuticals mostly just treat our symptoms. And no one is ever really asking, but why are you sick? What is the root cause? And you know, it used to be true that we didn't know what the root causes were for a lot of these chronic conditions that are epidemic right now. However, the science has changed now, and now we know why you were sick. And so the truth is that you can learn how to find the root cause and heal your disease, because science has now discovered that these root causes for most chronic illness, including autoimmune disease and even heart disease, many cancers, and even Alzheimer's, we've now discovered what many of these root causes are. And the best part is we not only know the why, but we know how to correct your root causes. And we know that once you remove the root causes, the symptoms are going to get much better and often even go away completely. And then you're going to be free of the pharmaceuticals and their side effects, and you can get on living the life of your dreams. And so I want to encourage you today that you really can live your dreams to the fullest. And I honestly believe that you were created by God with very unique gifts and a very important purpose. And your family, your friends, and the world, we need your unique gifts and purpose. And you really deserve to end your suffering. And I believe you can bring your God-given purpose to the world and be everything that you were created to be. And it's the latest science that's given us all hope that we can do this now. So if you have given up on your dreams like I did because of your illness, I'm telling you, get ready to dream again. So let's first make sure that this training is for you before you go on with any more time with me today. So, do you have any chronic ongoing symptoms that are bothering you, like pain, fatigue, brain fog, headaches, allergies, skin conditions, heartburn, or other gastrointestinal issues, stiffness and swelling, even things like anxiety, depression, and mood swings? And of course, the list goes on and on and on. Have you been diagnosed with fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome? Any autoimmune disease at all? Any invisible infection, including Lyme or Epstein-Barr or any of these? Any allergies, rashes, or other skin conditions? Things like PCOS, PODS, MCAS, and MCSD, gastrointestinal diseases of all kinds, any kind of organ disease, again, anxiety, depression, ADHD, or other mood issues, even cancer or any other chronic condition, then what I'm about to teach you today is going to really blow your mind, because what you're going to learn is that there is basically one way to help all of these conditions and to get you on the right path back to health. And also, are you concerned about what's going on in the world today with the viral pandemic? And would you like to learn the most powerful way to protect yourself and your family? And learn how to build your immune resistance naturally and permanently so that you and your family have stronger protection and you don't need to be scared of worldwide pandemics anymore, because with the method that we have, it's way more effective than vaccines or medications. And also, are you interested in learning the latest medical advances to live a long and healthy life? Then definitely this training can be for you. But this training might not be for you if you would rather just take pharmaceuticals because it's easier than actually working on your health. You don't really care about finding the root causes of your symptoms or truly reversing your illness for good because you've been told and you believe that you're incurable. You believe that you're a victim and there's nothing that you can do, or you aren't willing to make changes to your daily lifestyle and nutrition routine, or maybe you feel that you'll fail if you try to do this. Or maybe your doctor said that nutrition and lifestyle wouldn't make a big difference, and so you just choose to roll over and accept this because it's easier to give into the disease. Or you have that attitude, which I've heard so often, well, I'm going to die of something anyway. I might as well just live however I want, and if I suffer, so be it. Well, I want you to know that I used to be this kind of person when I was sick. And the truth is that had I only been willing to open my eyes and learn the truth sooner, I honestly could have saved myself a lot of pain and suffering. And I did. I wasted a lot of years in these negative attitudes. So now that I've made the choice to take charge of my health, I am so much better. I am happy and I'm fulfilling my God-given purpose in life. And so I hope that if you're feeling some of these negative feelings, that you'll still stick around for the training and let me change your mind. All right. So let's talk about the most exciting discoveries so far. And, the truth is that you may already know this because if you watch the news, if you watch Dr. Oz or Oprah or CBN, or if you've searched the internet and you found Dr. Mark Hyman or Dr. Jeffrey Bland or David Perlmutter, Terry Walls, Tom O'Brien, Amy Myers, any of these famous functional doctors, then you probably already know the latest scientific bombshell. And that is that for many of our epidemic and chronic illnesses, they're now known to be mostly preventable and reversible. Yeah, you really can reverse your disease. That's absolutely right. Science has now given us the tools to both prevent and reverse our most devastating chronic illnesses. And the truth is, it gives me chills just saying it, that we now truly have answers for us. And scientists actually know that within a generation or two, many of our chronic conditions can become a thing of the past. And so we really are in a very exciting time in medical history. So I want you to stop wasting your time and suffering, because you need to know right now that there aren't 100 different ways to reverse and prevent disease. And you don't need to keep bouncing around and searching from doctor to doctor, okay? You just need to know the one main secret to reversing your illness and achieving health. And this secret is based on overwhelming scientific evidence that's been accrued over the last 30 years. And it's the one thing that all scientists agree on. Are you ready? Secret number one, the most important way to reverse your symptoms and create your optimal health is stop your chronic inflammation. You need to find the real cause. So let's talk about this for a second. If your car started making a crazy noise and the check engine light came on, started flashing around, you'd take your car to a mechanic and you'd want to find the source of the problem quick, right? Now, what if the mechanic said to you, okay, well, just put a piece of duct tape over the check engine light so you don't have to see it anymore, and that'll help? What would you say? Would you settle for this? Of course not. You're going to say, hey, look under the hood. Would you find the real cause of the problem? Because if you don't, my car is going to get worse and worse, and eventually it's going to give out on me and leave me on the side of the road. And you'd be absolutely right. So chronic inflammation is the real cause, the real bottom line underlying cause of your symptoms. And the more you let it continue, the more and more tissue damage and disease is going to develop until your body eventually gives out on you. And unfortunately, the old school conventional medicine is like the mechanic with the duct tape. They unfortunately mostly only give us pharmaceuticals in order to manage our symptoms. In other words, just cover your check engine light, right? And that's not doing a thing to stop the underlying real root cause of your symptoms and stop the chronic inflammation. And, to be perfectly fair, it's because they really don't know how. Medical schools basically train doctors to treat symptoms with pharmaceuticals. And doctors are really only given very basic training in the treatment of chronic illness and autoimmune conditions. And they're basically taught to manage our symptoms only. And in a recent poll of doctors, most admitted that they feel really inadequate to help us when we show up in their offices with a multitude of different chronic symptoms at the same time. And further, studies have found that it takes an average of 17 years for scientific discoveries to get into the hands of the clinicians and then finally into the hands of the patients. And it's really only been in recent years that science started even understanding the underlying root causes of chronic inflammation. So you need to know that we're in that 17-year lag time right now when the discoveries have been made that can truly help us and give us our lives back, but the doctors still haven't been taught this science yet, unless they or someone they love has been diagnosed with a chronic illness or an autoimmune disease, and then they're really motivated to find a way to heal. And they start looking through the scientific literature, and they start seeing the research studies, and they find the evidence behind the newest medical advances, and they find the case studies of people using these advances to heal. And then they get wise and they join other like-minded doctors and scientists and health professionals in what's now being called the evolution of medicine. And doctors are starting to change their practices all over the world to incorporate this new healthcare model. And that's called personalized functional medicine. And we now have the answers to stop the chronic illness epidemic that is plaguing Western societies and threatening to destroy our economy. And these answers can help you right now. Now, why should you listen to me? Well, because I'm a research scientist and I was trained in the fields of autoimmunity and environmental immunotoxicology. And that's just basically the study of the environment and the toxicants and how it affects your immune system. And I'm one of those scientists who suffered from a lot of autoimmune diseases, and I reversed them using these same new medical breakthroughs that I'm about to tell you about today. So I'd like to tell you my story. So I was pretty well established as a scientist when the worst thing happened to me. First, I had my master's in immunology and environmental immunotoxicology from Virginia Tech. And I won awards, and I went on to become a PhD candidate in autoimmunity at Duke. And I did a full PhD fellowship in autoimmunity at the NIEHS. And I was published, and I worked in my field for about 13 years when actually the very worst thing happened to me. And I started developing my own set of autoimmune diseases. And it started with scleroderma with Raynaud's and severe fibromyalgia. And then it progressed to thyroiditis, which actually became Hashimoto's. I also had polymyositis or lupus, back and forth. They couldn't figure that out for a long time. I also had arthritis. I had very severe IBS, which later showed the symptoms of Crohn's. I had Addison's disease. Basically, I was a mess. And the conventional dogma was, at the time, is that autoimmune diseases, we just don't know what causes them. And my specialists, all 5 of them, said that I had an average of about 10 years to live. And if I was lucky, I might go 20. And the truth is that I was trained to believe that there was no cure and no hope. And so I just simply accepted this. This is my granddaughter, Jana. And because of a family tragedy, I was raising her by myself. And when I was finally diagnosed, she was only 3 years old. And it was my very worst fear that something would happen to me and I would die and she'd be left alone in foster care by herself. And this poor kid had already suffered enough. So that was a terrible thing to think about. So for over 14 years since I was diagnosed, I suffered with very extreme fatigue, very terrible widespread pain and migraines, brain fog, aphasia so bad I couldn't even remember my own dog's name. I had confusion, mood swings, very severe gastrointestinal issues, very severe insomnia, and much, much more. I lived on a cocktail of anywhere between 12 and 20 pharmaceutical medications per day. And I became disabled and lost my career as a scientist. And I spent most of my days either on the couch or in my bed, truly suffering. because of my illness. I lost my husband. I lost some friends. Most of my own family didn't understand and unfortunately weren't very supportive. Even my own church didn't understand. And one time I was even called a failure simply because I was too sick to do something they wanted me to do. And I'll tell you, life during that time really sucked. And even though I am a very committed born again Christian, and I did accept my illness as part of God's plan for my life, it was still really, really hard. And the worst part of it all was feeling as though my life basically had very little purpose anymore. And I felt so bad I couldn't even be the grandmother that I wanted to be for my granddaughter because I was so sick all the time. And half the time, she was taking care of me. And she's just a kid. And so I often just cried out to God and said, you know, what could possibly be the purpose in a life like this, just filled with so much illness and suffering? But as you know, that's not the end of my story, because I had two very profound spiritual experiences happen to me that led me to learn the new science out there. And not only was I able to heal physically, but more importantly, my life has been transformed spiritually as well. So I'll tell you what happened. I was in year 14 since my diagnosis, and I was having the worst flare-up that I've ever had. And the pain was so bad that I couldn't hardly get out of bed for 2 weeks. And I was really afraid, and I wondered, is this the end? Is this how it all ends? And then one day I was coming back from the bathroom and I collapsed on my bedroom floor. And there I was all alone in the house, and I basically completely broke down. And I just cried out to God. And I actually said to him, I yelled out, "This sucks." And I just told him, I cannot die now. I cannot leave my granddaughter because she needs me. And I said to the Lord, I said, God, I'm a scientist. There's got to be a way to get better. And if there's anything that I've missed, please just show me what it is. And I laid there crying for a while. You can imagine the scene. I was just, I had completely lost it. I was just completely broken in that moment. And, I finally climbed back up into bed and I turned the TV on to distract me. And on the screen was a YouTube video, and it said scleroderma and functional medicine. And I went, what's this? I just completely poo-pooed it. Right. And I said, what's functional medicine? I thought it's just some wacky natural stuff out there. And that's not real science. Right. Because I was completely brainwashed in the conventional way. Right. So about an hour went by, and that video just kept bothering me in a really, really weird way. And I knew that I had to watch it. So I finally did. I went back and I started watching the video, and I realized that God actually heard my cry, and he met me right where I was. And he answered my prayer very, very specifically, because in this video, God gave me what I was missing all those years of my illness. I mean, we're talking peer-reviewed journal articles with very convincing research from scientific studies all around the world, and real case studies of people with autoimmune diseases actually healing. And then there were even doctors who were finding their answers for their own illnesses when conventional medicine had failed them. And this one video led to other videos that I started watching. And one was by the Evolution of Medicine, the Functional Forum. And another, it was called Betrayal, the Autoimmune Disease Solution They're Not Telling You, by Dr. Tom O'Brien. And through these videos and many others, God showed me all about the other side of medicine called personalized functional medicine. And it's basically a new methodology using new science for correcting chronic illness and basically restoring optimal health using the latest medical discoveries. And this gave me my very first spark of hope. And I hope that it does for you too as I continue teaching you today. What happened to me, of course, as a scientist is that I totally geeked out when I heard this. And from my bed, I started what scientists do. We do a comprehensive literature review when we're looking for the truth. And we just go straight to the published research and we start reading. And that's exactly what I did. Only this time, instead of only looking at what I was trained to look at in conventional medicine, now I looked at all of it. I looked at all the natural medicine and all the functional medicine, all the integrative medicine. I looked at all of it and I put it all together. And then I started studying some of the top names in functional medicine, including the father of functional medicine, Dr. Jeffrey Bland, and Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. David Perlmutter, Dr. Daniel Amen, and many, many, many others out there. And then once I was convinced, I started experimenting with the different functional protocols that I had found on my own. And guess what? They started working. And I actually started feeling just a little bit better. And so I knew that what I had found was real. And the truth is that there are no quick fixes out there. It took me about 2 years of good, diligent, hard work to achieve my healing. And honestly, it took me a little longer than it should have because I was trying to do some of it on my own. And of course, I had my own learning curve and I chose the wrong doctor in the first place who wasn't fully trained in functional medicine due to insurance. And, there were actually, several other mistakes that we made along the way and some good hard lessons learned. Right? And these mistakes, I find that many people fall victim to when they're trying to do this on their own. But now, after watching this training, you're not going to fall into those same mistakes, right? Because that's why I'm here to teach you. But, I eventually found a team of doctors that were trained by the Institute for Functional Medicine. And together, with their expertise and the latest testing technologies and their loving team support, plus with my research into the newest cutting-edge scientific protocols, I was able to get my health back. So now I'm nearly 4 years into my healing journey, and my autoimmune disease conditions are reversed by 95%. And I want to tell you all about it because it makes me really super excited to let you know everything that I was able to accomplish, and you can too, okay? So I am off of all of those 20 pharmaceutical medications, and I want you to pay attention now because you're going to start seeing exactly how I did it. I dramatically reduced my chronic inflammation, so my pain and other symptoms are practically non-existent now. I stopped poisoning my mitochondria, which are my energy cells. And so now I have vibrant energy all day long. I corrected my gut microbiome and my leaky gut. And so now my gastrointestinal issues are practically gone. And get this, I lost 100 pounds. Yeah, that's really me. And here I am now. But it's not just how I feel. I'm reversed also according to my lab results. So my ANA titers are reduced by 80%. My inflammatory markers all returned back to normal low levels. My inflammation showing on ultrasound is basically non-existent. And what that means is there's no more arthritis pain. My gut panel shows that the pathogens have been removed, my leaky gut has been healed, and my gut microbiome is now balanced. And that means that my IBS is now cured. My thyroid panel markers all returned back to normal. So that means my Hashimoto's is cured. My nutritional deficiencies, many of them, have all returned back to normal. My neurochemical markers for my brain health have all returned back to normal, so no more mood swings. My mycoplasma titers have all returned to normal, and that's one of those little invisible infections that can be an underlying root cause of autoimmune disease. But there's more. My dental pathogens have all been removed. My metabolic syndrome has reversed. My fatty liver markers have all returned to normal. My glucose lowered down to 75, down from 110. My resting heart rate used to hover around 115. Now it's down to 70. My cholesterol is normal now. My mercury, lead, and other environmental toxins have lowered by 75% to date, and I'm still detoxing these out slowly. And guess what? When I get these all the way out, I fully expect to be 100% healed. My doctor recently told me that she could no longer diagnose me with any autoimmune disease today. And so I am here to tell you, I know you can start clapping, right? It's so awesome. When I give this talk live, people literally start clapping at this moment, because it's true that the personalized step-by-step functional programs, they really honestly do work. And so the truth is that by answering that desperate prayer that I called out to God with that day, he not only showed me the latest science that I was missing in my conventional training, which did bring me to my physical healing and reversed those 7 autoimmune diseases. But I'm here to tell you that the Lord did so much more for me than this, because he gave me back my life's purpose. And let me tell you how. I was about 2 years into my healing journey, so a couple of years ago. And I knew that I had reached a point where I was now achieving real health. And, there was no way that I was going back to being that sick person that I was before. I was just so dramatically different at this point. And one morning I was sitting and praying, and I was writing in my journal. And all of a sudden I just started thinking about, all the past suffering that me and my granddaughter both had gone through with this illness. And I started getting angry. And I wasn't really totally angry at God, but I was really, really angry at the situation and everything that we went through. And I said to God, I said, why? Why? If you were just going to show me how to heal anyway in the end, why didn't you do it sooner? Right? Why did you let us go on suffering for so long, for all of those years? And not only my own suffering, but my granddaughter's suffering and all of the loss that we both went through. I was just saying, why? And the next thing that happened to me, not everybody believes it, but I'm here telling you the truth that this really, really happened to me. And it was a pretty freaky experience. In an instant, what happened is I went from being this like spoiled, rotten, angry little girl, asking God why, right? And the very next moment, I was literally down on the floor, on my knees, bawling like a baby, and just thanking God, because I was just overcome with his love and what he had done for me. And, the only way that I can possibly describe what happened to me is like, it felt like this instant download from God. And in that moment, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that God had purposely orchestrated my life to help others to stop their suffering. Because in an instant, what he showed me was that he gave me this really weird geeky personality. I can't get enough of research and studying, and I've been that way ever since I was a little kid. He gave me the intelligence that I needed to be able to understand all the complex, biochemistry, right? And he gave me a passion to learn all about autoimmune diseases way back in undergraduate, before I even knew that I was developing my own autoimmune diseases, right? But, it wasn't enough to have the head knowledge that I truly had to experience the illness firsthand in order to get it, and in order to be able to do the purpose that God had for me, for my life. I really had to go through all those intense years of suffering in order to have the understanding and the overwhelming compassion that I have now for others. And then finally, he showed me my own path to healing so that I could teach others who are suffering too, right? And then he gave me the name of my mission, which is the name of my company today, True Wellness Today. And he basically told me to get started helping people immediately. And I did not feel like I was ready at the time at all, right? And this is why I just instantly fell to my knees and I couldn't stop crying and thanking God because I kept remembering all those years that I would cry out to him, wondering, what's my life's purpose? Why am I so ill? And how could I possibly be any good for your kingdom and serving others and all these things I'm supposed to be doing as a good Christian, right? How could I possibly do these things if I'm just sitting in bed or in my chair being sick all the time, right? But he showed me what my purpose was in this most beautiful, awesome way. And so he not only transformed my health, but he totally transformed me spiritually. And, I will just, I will never stop thanking him and I will never doubt God and his amazing work in our lives again. And I know now that there was an awesome purpose in my suffering. And now the truth is, I can't not get up out of bed every day and be excited to get up and help people do the same thing that I did. And so it's my passionate God-given mission now to bring you the hope that you need and to help you stop your suffering. And we do this just optimizing your health scientifically, right? And I have a Facebook group called Heal Autoimmune Disease Now. And the goal is to help over 500,000 people learn how to reverse their autoimmunity this year. And so I hope that you'll, not yet, but I hope that you'll go over there and check that out and join the group. So let's continue on with this training now that you know my story. So does this sound like you? You probably started having some chronic symptoms that are really bothersome, and then they probably became worrisome, and you went around to doctors, to specialists, to more specialists, but maybe all your lab results came back normal. But you knew that something was wrong, even though the doctors are saying there's nothing wrong, right? Or maybe you were told, oh, it's just old age, or the worst one, oh, it's just stress. Maybe you just need to take some anti-anxiety or depression medication, right? And maybe you were made to feel as though some of this is all in your head, right? Or maybe your doctor actually did find a diagnosis, but then he told you that there was no cure. And you were told that you must hurry up and get started on really powerful pharmaceutical medications and chemotherapy drugs even to help ease your symptoms and to help slow the progression of your disease. And even though these medications gave you other symptoms and caused further tissue damage and you knew that they weren't good for you, you felt like you had to take them, right? But yet you were still sick with all your symptoms and you were even getting worse and no one was addressing the why behind why your symptoms occurred in the first place. And maybe you felt stuck in a life of your symptoms controlling you, never knowing what each day or even each hour would bring. And maybe you felt really alone in your suffering. Maybe your friends and family really didn't get it. And you felt maybe like a hypochondriac sometimes with all your different symptoms. And, maybe there were times when you really wondered if all these symptoms were really in your head, right? And then maybe you became anxious and depressed over your symptoms because they're just getting worse and worse and worse. And you just keep getting diagnosis after diagnosis after diagnosis as the years go past. Well, I understand because I lived like that for a very long time myself. But I'm here to tell you, you can get off the suffering merry-go-round today. living in this kind of suffering, it really stopped me from achieving my life's purpose for a time, right? And I did lose many years of productivity and joy. But what I learned in the end is that suffering this way is totally unnecessary now. And one of my clients put it perfectly recently. She said, suffering is optional. And I love that statement. So I'm about to teach you how to get off of that suffering merry-go-round without wasting your time or wasting money. So let's look at the latest science and go straight to the heart of the problem, the root causes of your inflammation. And let me show you how to correct your root causes so your symptoms will disappear, or at least they'll get very significantly better. And let's also learn how to safely wean off of our meds and throw those damaging pharmaceuticals in the trash where they belong. So, doctors and scientists have found their own healing. Not only has this method worked for me, but there are literally hundreds of thousands of people all over the world who are using these latest medical discoveries in order to heal. And this includes some of the top doctors and researchers out there, like Dr. Jeffrey Bland. He's the father of functional medicine, and he has a book called The Disease Delusion, among others. And he's changing the face of modern medicine right now. Dr. Dale Bredesen, who has reversed Alzheimer's up to stage 5 in his groundbreaking research studies. Dr. Alessio Fasano from Harvard, who was the first to discover the critical link between autoimmune disease and your gut health. Dr. Mark Hyman, the director of the Cleveland Clinic and Institute for Functional Medicine, he's healed himself and others from severe toxic overload, autoimmunity, and other chronic conditions. And there's lots more doctors out there who are healing themselves and others, like Dr. Terry Walls, who cured herself and many others from severe multiple sclerosis. She just got up out of a wheelchair and started riding bikes again. There's Dr. Tom O'Brien, who wrote The Autoimmune Fix and You Can Fix Your Brain. He reversed antibodies attacking his myelin sheath, which leads to multiple sclerosis. And he now teaches functional medicine to doctors all over the world. And then there's Dr. Amy Myers and Isabella Wentz. They've reversed autoimmune thyroiditis and Hashimoto's in themselves and literally thousands of others. And then there's Dr. David Perlmutter of Grain Brain fame. And he changed the way we think about neurological illness and autoimmune disease and Alzheimer's. And, you know, I could go on and on and on. These are just a few examples of the many pioneering doctors and scientists out there who are charging forth, and they're using the latest science to change people's lives. But then there's also famous authors and internet celebrities out there who are healing themselves, and you've probably heard of these guys. There's Dave Asprey of Bulletproof Coffee fame. He overcame a lifetime of chronic issues due to mold. He lost over 100 pounds, just like me. And he was using the latest medical discoveries of personalized functional medicine. And then there's Chris Wark of Chris Beat Cancer fame. You've probably seen him on the internet. He naturally cured his colon cancer using the nutrition and detox principles of personalized functional medicine. There's Ty Bollinger of The Truth About Cancer. And he's the one who shined the light on the cancer industry and the natural methods in personalized functional medicine that really effectively prevent and reverse many cancers. And then there's the top treatment centers around the world who are using the latest science that I used and that you can use too. There's top doctors all around the world doing this, and including some really big names like people at Harvard, the Ultra Wellness Center, the Cleveland Clinic, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, and Sheba Medical Center. And, you know, there's just so many others. I could go on and on and on, but I don't want to take up all your time today. The point of me telling you all this is that it's time for you to learn how to do this too. So at this point, you're probably like me, and you're probably saying, wow, is this really possible? Is this really true? Can I really get better? And so I want to go to the meat of the webinar today and teach you some of the science. This is going to get just a little bit geeky on you, but if you stick with me, I hope to teach you something. And I hope that this information is really going to hit home with you and change your life today. It's my goal to convince you that there is so much available to you that you haven't tried yet, right? And these things are things that even your conventional medicine doctor might have just learned about or might not even know about yet, right? And as you've seen already, this new science really does work. So I'm going to teach you the next 3 secrets that are going to help you today. How to reverse your chronic symptoms naturally, how to optimize your health no matter how long you've suffered, and how to reduce your family's chances of developing future disease. So, are you excited yet? I want you to stick with me here because I'm going to teach you a lot of valuable information that your doctor may not even know yet. And this is going to give you some awesome hope. So, the 4 secrets. Remember, secret number 1. Remember, I taught you this one already. The most important way to reverse your symptoms and have optimal, vibrant health is stop your chronic inflammation. If you forget everything else I've told you today, please remember that your number 1 job in order to get healthy again is to learn how to stop your chronic inflammation. Now, secret number 2, why your conventional doctor is wrong. If he or she is still telling you that you are incurable, and how to find and correct the main root causes of your chronic inflammation naturally. Secret number 3, why the latest scientific methods work for just about everyone, even if you've been sick for decades with severe illness. And secret number 4, how you can easily use this new information to create your optimal health, and you can do it affordably. And I'm here to tell you, there's no need to fear failure. You really can do this with a little bit of help. All right, so let's dive deep into secret number 2, why your doctor is wrong if he's saying that you are incurable. Why it's no longer true that if you have chronic illness or autoimmune disease that you're going to have it for life. Why you're no longer doomed to be saddled with damaging pharmaceuticals for the rest of your life, and how you can find and correct the main root causes of your chronic inflammation naturally. So first, let's look at some overwhelming scientific evidence. All you need to do is a PubMed search of the scientific literature. You're going to find over 614,000 published studies suggesting and proving that chronic inflammation is the underlying cause of most disease. Scientists have now proven that most, if not all, of your symptoms are caused by inflammation. And that's true even if your lab testing is antiquated and isn't sensitive enough to show all the ways that you're inflamed. They have proven that by reducing and eliminating chronic inflammation, disease symptoms get better, and they often disappear completely. Now, knowing this, scientists in recent years have studied the underlying causes of the chronic inflammation. These are what we call our root causes. These root causes fall into several main categories. And guess what? The good news is that you have a great deal of control over these root causes in your daily, everyday lifestyle practices. So let's go into these categories now. And I promise I'm not going to give you too much information, but I just want to touch on these quickly for you. These are all the areas of your health that we know now are the root causes of chronic illness and autoimmune disease. And we know that if we act like medical detectives and we scientifically look at all these areas of your health, that we will find your root causes and we will lower your chronic inflammation, and that allows your immune system to do its job, which is to heal you. That's what it was created to do. And so I just want to go over each of these very, very quickly. It starts with your non-negotiables, we call them. Things like sleep, getting enough water, getting enough movement every day, making sure that you're pooping properly every day, and having a good source of peace that grounds you and helps you to be stabilized emotionally and spiritually. It has to do with your genetics, first of all. But guess what? Your genetics are not fixed in stone. The way they express has everything to do with your lifestyle, and you can change the way your genes express. Either you can allow your genes to continue expressing disease, or you can make some changes and help your genes to express health instead. Then it also has to do with the level of toxicities that we're exposed to today. And scientists are now starting to discover that it's these toxicities that are really the #1 cause of chronic disease right now. So we have to learn how to remove them. And then when you've got problems with your genetics and then problems with toxicities, what happens is that throws out your gut health. And science has learned over the last 20 years that your gut health basically controls every other aspect of your health. Did you hear what I said? Your gut health controls every other aspect of your health, including your immune system, your metabolism, your thyroid and your hormonal health, and even your mental health is all controlled by your gut health. So guess what that means? That means that in order to change your gut health, you've just got to change your nutrition. You can't possibly believe that you can go on eating ding-dongs and ho-hos and stuffing M&Ms and ice cream and pizza and beer into your gut and think that you're going to have a healthy gut, because it's just not going to happen that way. So we do have to make some very important changes. We have to start learning how to eat like kings and queens with high quality, excellent food that's not toxic, that actually helps our cells to do everything that they were meant to do. But then we also have to look at your mitochondrial health, because that's where your energy comes from. And the studies linking mitochondrial health to cancer are extraordinary right now. And so we know that we must look at your mitochondrial health, and we must help those little guys to be healthy again, so you can protect yourself from autoimmune disease and cancer right now. But also, we need to look at the underlying invisible infections that may very well be present and in many people with chronic illness and autoimmune disease. Those little let me try to say this properly. Those little invisible infections, some of them may have been there for decades and you don't even know they're there, but yet they're churning away chronic inflammation constantly, 24/7, 365 days a year, and creating a lot of tissue damage and disease. But then also we have to look at your stress levels, how you manage your stress, and how you manage your structural environment, right? Making sure that you do have a good chiropractor who is helping you to maintain your structural integrity of your nervous system, and also learning how to manage your stress, because it's not all in your head, but some of it is, right? And we do have to learn how to just, think positively and have a happier life, right? And so all of these things play a role. It's all biochemical and it's all very important. And so, what I want to ask you right now is that what is your missing puzzle piece? And if you were anything like me, you have 6 or 7 missing puzzle pieces, right? You may have 30 or 40 holes in your nutrition that you don't even know about yet, right? Or, maybe you've tried the AIP diet and maybe it helped, but it's not enough and you're still sick. And why is that? Because look, nutrition is only one piece of your puzzle, right? You have to do a lot of work in your gut. You have to work on your hormones. You need to work on your genetic expression. You need to work on lowering your toxic overload. You need to work on your energy and mitochondrial health, right? You need to work on your sleep. You need to work on your stress management. You need to look at the invisible infections. Are you starting to see? Are you starting to see what we have to do in order to get well? So now look at secret number 3. Why the latest scientific discoveries work for just about everyone, even if you've been sick for decades, even if you're in advanced age. And there are many scientific discoveries out there that prove that your body has the innate ability to heal quite naturally. It's what your immune system was created to do. And if you give your body what it needs and remove what it doesn't, your immune system can do this just fine. But since we have limited time, I want to focus on just one important recent discovery, and that's the healing miracle of your stem cells. All right. Now, if you don't know about stem cells are special healing cells in your immune system that literally repair and replace damaged cells in every part of your body. But, science relatively recently learned this because, when I was in my PhD program, I was taught that, okay, if you remove a portion of your liver, the stem cells are going to create a healthy new tissue and it's going to grow back again, kind of like a lizard's tail, right? And we knew that also the gut lining could do this as well pretty quickly within a few days. But we thought that it was only true for a few tissue types. For instance, the known dogma at the time was that brain cells could never repair and regenerate. And once they were damaged, if you drank a lot of beer in college, then that was it. You lost all those brain cells and they're just gone. They're gone forever. That was the old dogma, right? But now we understand that all tissues have specialized stem cells, especially our brains. And in fact, scientists have proven that we can regenerate healthy new brain cells even up until the day of our death if we give our bodies the right building blocks and we take away the toxicities. So, the point is that the old dogma was wrong. And science has discovered powerful new ways to activate our stem cells with simple nutrition and lifestyle practices. And these are practices that everyone can do. And guess what? You really must do them. If you want to avoid things like Alzheimer's and dementia and cancer and other degenerative diseases, then you really must learn how to do this and get your health back. And, here's another important point, that it takes about 30 to 40 years to develop Alzheimer's and dementia. And yet, what we've learned now in the sciences is that through the power of your own healing stem cells, you can reverse Alzheimer's in just a few years. That's through the natural healing power of your stem cells. It's truly amazing. Scientists now know that we can eliminate Alzheimer's and dementia in the next couple of generations. We do have the knowledge to do this now, right? So even if you've been sick for decades, or even if you're in very advanced age, you can still activate your stem cell power and you can get better. And I want to show you this groundbreaking Alzheimer's study by Dr. Dale Bredesen, where they took Alzheimer's disease patients up to stage 5, which is very severe. It's where you can't remember your kids' names anymore. You can't feed yourself or clothe yourself, right? You certainly cannot work. And with the same medical discoveries that I'm telling you about today, they are taking patients and reversing them from stage 5 Alzheimer's. And I want you to see what it says here. Patients who had to discontinue work were able to return to work, and those struggling at work were able to improve their performance. The patients, their spouses, and their coworkers all reported clear improvements. The magnitude of the improvement is unprecedented, providing additional objective evidence that this programmatic approach to cognitive decline, that's personalized functional medicine, is highly effective. And these results have far-reaching implications for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease and other chronic illness. So if that doesn't blow your socks off and prove to you that, look, if we can be healing even some of the worst diseases like Alzheimer's disease using these same medical discoveries, then we can help you too. And of course, you know, I'm sitting here before you showing you that I did it, and there are literally hundreds of thousands of people all over the world who are doing it right now. So I'm telling you, you can do this too. And now I want to talk about secret number 4, and I want to tell you about it with a story of one of our clients. And secret number 4 is how you can easily access and use this new information to create your optimal health and do it affordably. And I want you to know, again, I'm just going to say this again, there is no need to fear failure. Okay, I was the worst junk food junkie and the most stubborn of patients that there were, and I was still able to get well. So I know that you can do this too. Okay, so let me tell you Lola's life-changing story now. So, you know, typical, right? She didn't think that she could feel better. She suffered for over 25 years with many symptoms. And of course, her doctor told her that she had incurable autoimmune disease. But, you know, and she'd already tried everything that her doctor said to do, but she was still getting worse. And, you know, nothing seemed to really work, right? And, you know, the truth is she was sick and tired of going to doctors just for them to give her another diagnosis after another diagnosis and more prescriptions, right? That caused even more side effects. And she was tired of that. And when she came to our program, she actually said to me that she said to her husband that the science is obviously credible. Lots of people are having success with this, and it makes perfect sense that inflammation is at least part of my problem. So she said, what have I got to lose? If I don't try, I'll never know if I could be better. So I might as well try. And she was right. That's the right attitude to have. But, you know, how could she afford to get well? Because years of being sick, she hadn't been working for a long time, and that really ruined her finances. And so what we did for her here is we designed a program with her specific financial situation in mind. And that's because it's our mission to do this. God told me specifically to make it affordable. And no, it wasn't an audible voice, but I just knew in my heart, because I suffered when I was on Social Security disability, and it was very, very difficult for me to find a way to get well and to afford to do it. And so I knew that when I got well, that I needed to make it affordable for you. So what we did was we started her with the Living Matrix Comprehensive Functional Evaluation, plus a 30-day anti-inflammatory nutrition program. And we did this at a really low price that she could afford. And, you know, the truth is that Lola came to me like a lot of people come to me saying, oh, well, you know, I think I already eat pretty healthy. I've been trying to follow what I learned on the internet, blah, 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 right? But what she learned from some of the testing that we did, that the foods that she was eating were actually making her symptoms worse every single day. So by around the next month, as she could afford it, she started her complete gut repair program. And like I said, you know, the gut is very, very important to your healing, right? So it's an important place to start, right? And we were able to use her insurance to get some of this testing done, right? And what did we find? We found, you know, some pretty important bad guys living in her gut causing some chronic inflammation. We found Candida and Klebsiella, right? And of course, we gave her a nice protocol, a cutting edge protocol to eliminate these pathogens, right? And knock them back so they can't cause problems for her anymore. And of course, you know, in our programs every day, Lola received all of her questions answered, a lot of love and compassion and support, right? So, you know, we never leave you alone in our programs, unless you want to be left alone, right? Most people don't. right? And so I'm always there. It's like having me in your back pocket answering questions for you. So about a month later, what we found was that Lola was starting to feel a little bit better. She was making some really important nutrition and lifestyle changes. She was doing some awesome cutting edge protocols. She was getting some testing done, and it was all starting to work. And her lab results were coming back better from her doctor's office. She felt a little more energy and less pain, right? But the biggest deal was that she felt that her life was actually changing, right? And this is a powerful motivator when we're starting to get well. So she was filled with more and more hope because she could see that it was actually working for her. And at about 4 months, Lola was able to continue with us by getting into our next program called Reverse Autoimmunity Now. And of course, we helped her again with a payment plan to make it easier on her. And then we did even more further testing, and we found some pretty important nutritional deficiencies. We found some mitochondrial and brain deficiencies. We found mercury toxicity. These are many root causes of her illness. And of course, we gave her the cutting edge protocols to correct these problems, right? And the training on why the protocols work. And of course, again, lots of love and encouragement. So far, Lola's been doing this for a little more than 7 months now, and her blood work is starting to show some pretty amazing results. She no longer has fatty liver disease. Her glucose has returned to normal, and she's lost 45 pounds. That's pretty awesome. Her gut health symptoms are much better. Her pain is almost gone. Her neurochemicals are balanced now, so her anxiety and depression are much better. And of course, she continues in our group ongoing support. And, you know, that's the best thing, because it's such a beautiful thing to have other people around you working together, right? We all understand each other, and we're all helping and holding each other accountable and just giving each other a lot of love and encouragement every single day. And so now Lola told me that when her friends see her with much more energy and stamina, that, you know, she says she's like a little evangelist for our program now, and not just our program, right? Because it's just good personalized functional medicine protocols. That's all it is, right? And, you know, these just helped her to get well, right? And so her friends are impressed, and one of them has actually come to me as well. And Lola actually said to me, and I want you to hear this loud and clear, what she said. She said, "I wish I had found this program sooner. Think of all the time I lost suffering when I could have been working on getting well." Just let that sink in for a minute. She could have stayed on the path of illness, right? And just taking her pharmaceuticals and doing the same thing she'd always done. But she made a choice to do something different, something better, something that used the latest science, and it changed her life. So let me ask you a question now. So are you feeling like, phew, like overwhelmed because I covered so much for you today? So, you know, there is so much to teach you. And obviously, I've just given you a tiny little piece of this, but I wanted to give you a lot of value. So I hope I didn't overwhelm you too much today. But let me ask you another question. Are you intrigued by what you've learned today? And are you feeling that spark of hope that I felt when I first learned this information? I really hope so, because that's my goal, right? This is a beautiful scripture. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That's John 1:5. And that's what we're teaching you here today, teaching you the truth. So are you ready to get started on your road to recovery? So what this picture is showing is that we start with the living matrix. It's a comprehensive health assessment that you're going to be blown away by. And then we do a 30-day quick start program that just helps you to get started on some basic lifestyle principles. And of course, we're going to look at your gut. We're going to do a full program for you, right? All of these things are so important for you to get better again. And what I want you to know today is that it's really easy to get started. So I want to make this a total no-brainer for you. So I want to ask you, is it okay if I like completely over deliver and I want to give you a ton of value and a really great deal? I know you're saying yes, right? And would you like a personalized step-by-step plan that uses the latest cutting-edge science? A plan where you never feel like you're left alone, where your questions are always answered every step of the way, with a knowledgeable, compassionate practitioner, that's me, who's been in your shoes and can show you the way. And most importantly, where you're going to receive a lot of love and encouragement and compassion and powerful motivation to help you do this, and do it all at a very affordable and fair price. So here's your Get Started package. All right, I want to help you get started today. And what we do first for everyone is a comprehensive functional evaluation. And this is by Living Matrix and the Institute for Functional Medicine. Plus, we give you a 30-day quick start program to help you get started. So I want to walk you through this. We're almost done, but I just want to let you know how to get started today and tell you everything that this package includes, okay? So your comprehensive functional evaluation is by Living Matrix. And this company is partnered with the Institute for Functional Medicine. They've brought us the most comprehensive, cutting-edge health assessment tool available. It's run on a very ultra-private, HIPAA-compliant, cloud-based platform. So it's on the internet. And it uses state-of-the-art intelligence technology for pinpoint accuracy. It's used by the top-tier functional practitioners to uncover your hidden root causes. It analyzes your data scientifically for ongoing lifetime reference. That's huge. And of course, you get a printable color report, and you can share this with your other health providers, your family, your friends. It's really awesome. So the Living Matrix Health Assessment really tells you, it's asking that question, well, how healthy are you really? Right? So they're going to provide you a personalized health score that's super, super easy to understand, right? And you can kind of see here in this picture where this one patient has scored a 97, and then you look over here and you say, where's 97? Oh, high risk for chronic disease, right? This is based on your personal answers in your questionnaire that you do online. And this analyzes your data very scientifically. So that's for that ongoing lifetime reference, right? That you can use forever, right? And it makes it easy to track your progress over time, right? It's ongoing. It's really, really awesome. So you also get a total life health timeline. This is absolutely ingenious. What it does is it provides a complete picture of your total health history, all the way from the time you were in your mama's belly to the present, right? It unravels the how and the why you developed your health condition. So wouldn't you really like to know that, right? It analyzes the different triggers, your root causes for disease, based on the latest medical discoveries. It scientifically plots the appearance of your symptoms with known root triggers. And what this does is it uncovers the missing puzzle pieces in your health journey. The value on this one piece of the Living Matrix is absolutely priceless, and you're going to love it. But then also it does this functional matrix for you, which basically gives you such a clear understanding of your health that it puts you in charge of your health. It provides the big picture view of all of your different systems in your body. And this is, of course, again, based on the latest medical findings that your body functions as a whole, with all of your systems working together and intertwined, right? You're not a separate brain and a separate organ and a separate heart. It's all intertwined, right? And when you learn this information, this is going to put you in a position of control. You are no longer going to be confused over your health issues. You're going to understand the exact steps that you need to take in order to get your health back. This analyzes the symptoms in the body systems that need the most work, right? So you can start exactly where you need to. And it provides a clear percentage of which systems need the most help, right? So for science geeks like me, if you're anything like me, you're going to love seeing this. But it helps you to understand exactly where to get started, and it allows for the personalized, streamlined care for faster results, right? And what's true about this is once you see this about your health, you're never going to have another doctor appointment where you don't understand what your focus is, right? Because now you're in charge and you really understand what you need to do to get well. But it also gives you a global health assessment with every single visit, right? So long as you're working with a practitioner who's using the living matrix, which a lot of functional providers are now, that every time you're seen, you can do an MSQ, which is a multi-symptom questionnaire that is evaluating your health on both a physical and a mental level, right? And it's basically analyzing your overall quality of life between each appointment in real time. So what this is doing is it's tracking how you're feeling over time, so you can actually watch yourself get better and better. And it shows clear, objective results, right? And what does this do for you? It gives you such powerful motivation to continue in your health goals. You're going to really love this too. But you're also going to get a step-by-step action plan to wellness. And isn't this what we all really want when we're sick? Because we're so confused and we just bounce from doctor to doctor and we don't understand how to get well. Well, you're not going to be that way anymore, because we're going to set you up for success. We're going to show you exactly what you need to do to get your health back. And this is, of course, very personalized, and we're going to be addressing your worst symptoms first. We're going to put you in control of your health outcomes in partnership with us, right? Which puts you in a position of responsibility as well, right? It helps you to get started quickly so you can feel better faster. And of course, it's using cutting edge protocols that really, really, really do work. But then you're going to get a private consultation to explain all this to you. We're not just going to have you take this health assessment and then leave you alone, right? You're going to get 60 minutes in a Zoom call with me. We're going to go over your Living Matrix health assessment together. You're going to understand exactly where your current health stands from a scientific perspective. You're going to learn the probable reasons why you developed your illness in the first place. And you're going to learn the specific steps to uncover and to correct your root causes for your chronic inflammation. You're going to know exactly which steps to take next, so you're always in control of your health outcomes. You're going to receive personal and compassionate attention from me, and we're going to take the time to answer all of your questions. And by the time you're done with this consultation, you're going to be filled with such hope and excitement. You're going to be ready to start your health journey. So this comprehensive functional evaluation package, it's worth over $497, but I don't want you to worry because we're not going to charge you this. But wait, there's more. And I love saying that. I just think that's so funny. The old school marketing, right? But wait. But the truth is that we do want to give you a lot of value today. So the Get Started package also includes your 30-day quick start program. So I want to tell you a little bit about this too. It gives you an anti-inflammatory nutrition plan that doubles as a grocery list. And so if you're confused over the right diet for you, which most people are, right, then we're going to teach you how to determine the best diet for your health needs, right? You're going to receive the full whole food elimination plan that will stop inflammation fast. And this is the full plan. This is not a little snippet of it. This is the real deal, the whole thing, okay? You're going to get a complete grocery list to make shopping much easier. You're going to start building your resistance to virus in as little as 24 hours when you start doing a program like this. You're going to start healing your gut within days. You're going to learn the benefits of intermittent fasting and how to get started on this very safely. And of course, this is going to answer all of your nutrition questions personally. And the value on that is about $57. But we're also going to give you a simple sleep and circadian rhythm protocol. Now, if you haven't studied anything on sleep lately and your circadian rhythm, it's one of the most important areas that you need to look at in order to get your health back. And yes, you do need to work on this. It's extremely important, okay? And you're going to learn why getting quality sleep is one of your most important lifestyle choices. You're going to learn the latest Nobel Prize winning sleep protocol for your best sleep ever. And this is brand new science, folks, okay? You might not find this very many places, but you're going to get it here, okay? You're going to learn how getting quality sleep can increase your lifespan, actually, and it's your number one defense to prevent Alzheimer's and dementia. You're going to start having more energy, better moods, and less pain when you learn this protocol. And I want to know, why isn't everyone doing this right now? The science is just a couple of years old. It's brand new, but hey, everyone needs to be doing this for their health. That's a value of well over $27. But then we're going to give you a very simple liver cleanse protocol. We can't start with really deep liver cleansing because that's not good for you yet, right? But we're going to give you something that's powerful enough, but very, very easy to do. And you know that your liver works overtime, filtering about 2 quarts of blood every minute. It's very important that you learn how to take care of your liver, because if your liver isn't functioning optimally, then your immune system isn't functioning optimally either. And guess what? You're not going to feel good. So this simple liver cleanse protocol only takes about 5 minutes in the evenings. And it actually feels like a little spa treatment, and you're going to really like it, right? And you're going to notice that your pain gets better, your energy increases, and even your thinking and your clarity of your mind is going to get better just from this one protocol. And that's a value of over $27. But then we also give you some cool bonuses. So we have a craving killer Trinity smoothie recipe, and it actually does tame your cravings because it gives you the exact nutrients that you need in order to calm those neurochemicals that say, oh, I want to eat sugar, or I want to eat tons of carbs and bad things, right? It actually calms your neurochemicals so that your brain and your emotions feel satisfied when you drink this. So you are going to absolutely want this smoothie recipe. Then we also give you, now this is huge, we give you an anti-inflammatory supplement and wellness protocol to get you started, okay? Now, this is basically to help your immunity, right? It's going to help to lower your pain and inflammation right away, right? These are specific supplements that we're giving you the exact dosages. We're giving you the brand names. We're giving you exactly what you need in order to follow this protocol and get well. And it's all organized on a 1-page, really easy to follow protocol, right? You can keep it with you every day and just take these few supplements, and they are really going to help make a difference in your life. That one part of this plan is valued at over $97, and you definitely need this. But then we also give you a nice bonus that's just a nice health journal, right? Because we know that eating an anti-inflammatory diet is your best defense right now. And the food that you eat can cause up to 50% of your symptoms. You know, Dr. Mark Hyman recently said that, you know, a lot of what's wrong with you is sitting at the end of your fork. Think about that for a minute, right? And so having a health journal is a very easy way to help you keep track of what you're eating. And it also helps someone like me, your practitioner, to help you identify those foods that are causing your symptoms, right? And this is just, I love this actually. And I'm so glad that we created it for you. It's very, very organized. And so everybody says that it's very, very easy to fill out and it helps them stick to their goals, right? All right, and then we also give you an easy get moving plan because you do need to get moving. And I know that when you're very, very ill, it's very difficult to exercise. And I'm not talking about hard exercise here. This plan is something that everyone can do, even on your worst days, even when you're laying in bed. These are things that will help your lymph to move. It will help your body to detoxify, and it will help you to start feeling better, right? It builds a healthy immune system. It gives you added energy, balances your metabolism and your insulin levels. It helps you maintain a healthy weight. It's going to stabilize your mood and give you clear thinking. And if you can just get started doing this simple little easy plan for less than 30 minutes a day, you're going to notice some awesome benefits. But now we also have a bonus that we give you. Every client of mine gets a 20% discount on supplements for life. And I wish we didn't have to use supplements in order to get well, but I don't want to make money off of supplements, right? I want you to get well. So I give you a very huge discount. And most clients find that this is the least expensive way to get the supplements that they need, right? But we don't have to worry about them coming from places like, that might not be the best quality, right? Because I partner with Emerson Wellevate, right? And it's a very good supplement provider, right? And we know that a lot of the supplements out there, from Costco and Walmart and places like that, right? They carry lower quality products, but the products that we have at Emerson Wellevate, we only choose the highest quality products for you that we know actually work, right? But also, they also, which is really cool, they also have not only supplements, but they also have different herbs and beauty aids and non-toxic cleaning supplies, and you can save 20% on all of it. So that's a nice bonus for you there. It's a huge bonus, actually. So your Living Matrix Comprehensive Functional Evaluation plus the 30-day Easy Quick Start program. To recap it, here's everything that comes in it, right? Here is everything that you're going to receive. It's the comprehensive functional evaluation that includes the Living Matrix Health Assessment with the step-by-step plan of action and the 60-minute private consultation with me. That's a $497 value, plus your 30-day Easy Quick Start program. And that includes the anti-inflammatory nutrition plan and grocery list, the Nobel Prize winning sleep protocol, the simple liver cleanse protocol, the anti-inflammatory supplement and wellness protocol. Are we giving you enough yet? You get the bonus of the 20% discounts on supplements for life. We're also going to give you another nice bonus. It's a 10% discount on all services and programs that you need coming up. Then you get the bonus of the Easy Moving Plan, the Craving Killer Superfood Trinity Smoothie Recipe, and the Health Journal. The total value of this package is well over $1,700. But you're not going to pay that, don't worry. So I want to show you some of our clients' awesome results. So Lisa, she dramatically reduced her use of oxygen for scleroderma within about 3 months, and she lost 35 pounds. And at Christmas this last year, her children said to her, "Mom, you're so different than the last time we saw you." And we cried. We truly did. And Louisa lowered her Hashimoto antibodies by 30% in just a few months. That's huge, guys, okay? Her brain fog and energy is so much better now, and she lost 20 pounds, and she says her pain is nearly gone. Now, Judith had several autoimmune diagnoses, and she had been to a bunch of different doctors and specialists before coming to us, some of them other functional doctors as well. But within less than a week of starting her program, she had this really annoying rash that had gone on for ages, and it disappeared, and it has not returned. And she said her energy and her pain is so much better now that she's preparing to take a cross-country biking trip. That's totally awesome. So, you know, after you get done watching this video, you can scroll down and watch these videos here and other testimonial videos, and you're going to love them. They're tearjerkers for sure. So our clients, they really do love this program. They really are getting their lives back. And I'm telling you, you can too. So now I want to ask you, what's your choice? Do you want to drive a Ferrari, or do you want to drive like a broken down jalopy? Because, you know, let's get just dead serious about this for a minute. Because if you do nothing, then you're going to get the same results that you have always had up until now. And that means you're just going to stay sick. You're going to keep driving that broken down, falling apart jalopy, right? But worse, you're going to be allowing more and more tissue damage and disease to develop over time if you do nothing. Now, that's just not an option now. Now that we have the answers, right? That's just not an option for you. But the truth is that if you get started today, you're going to start to feel better in just a few short weeks. And plus, you're going to feel powerful and motivated because you made the right choice to take charge of your health today. And if you let me take you by the hand and guide you through this healing journey, before long, you're going to be just like me. You're going to be driving that Ferrari, and your life is going to be changed. And I just want you to think about that for a minute. You know, wow. Imagine your life and what it would be if you didn't have all the chronic symptoms that you have now. And I'm telling you, you really can get better. So now's your wake-up call. We've never really experienced anything quite like what we're seeing in the world today, right? This viral pandemic. And just not only that, though, I mean, the chronic illness epidemics that we have right now are much worse, right? And, you know, if you have health issues right now, it's downright scary, isn't it? But I'm telling you that it doesn't have to be, okay? You really can take charge now. You can optimize your health with proven scientific methods. And now is the right time to build your immune resistance and get your health in order. Now is the time to help your family to get healthier. So, are you ready to take control of your health and your destiny? So let's look at the Living Matrix Comprehensive Functional Evaluation plus the 30-day Easy Quick Start program one more time. Again, here's what you're going to receive in your Get Started package. It's the functional evaluation with the Living Matrix Health Assessment, the personalized step-by-step plan of action, and the 60-minute private consultation with me. That's a $497 value all by itself, but plus, again, you're going to get your 30-day Easy Quick Start program, right? And that's got that anti-inflammatory nutrition plan and grocery list to make things really easy for you to get started, that Nobel Prize winning sleep protocol for you, the simple liver cleanse protocol, the anti-inflammatory supplement and wellness protocol. This is huge. That's a 97 value all by itself. But then you're getting all the bonuses, the 20% discount on supplements for life, the 10% discount on all of your future services, your Get Moving plan, your Superfood Trinity smoothing recipe, and your health journal. And again, it's a total value of over $1,700. And I assure you, if you were to walk into a functional medicine doctor office right now, you would pay quite a bit of money for a package like this. But we're going to give it to you for only $127 today. So I told you it was a no-brainer, right? And so you're thinking like, why is she doing this? Like I told you, because God clearly gave me a calling. I'm supposed to be teaching you the truth, and I'm supposed to be doing it affordably. Now, listen to this. Leading scientists agree that we can wipe out autoimmune disease and chronic illness in the next generation. We have the knowledge. Now it's just a matter of getting the information out to the people and training the doctors in the latest medical advances. Chronic illness and autoimmune disease are preventable and reversible. We have the knowledge to end your suffering right now. So are you ready to feel better? Knowledge is power. All you need is the knowledge and some expert help along the way. And I want you to know that you got this. You really can do this. You can be like me. You can take your life back from chronic illness. So one more time, what are you going to get? You're going to get the comprehensive functional evaluation with the living matrix health assessment, the step-by-step plan of action, the consultation with me, that's a $497 value, plus you're going to get the 30-day easy quick start program with the nutrition plan and the sleep protocol and the liver cleanse and the supplement and wellness protocol and all of the bonuses, the 20% discount on supplements, 10% discount on services, your easy get moving plan, your craving killer superfood Trinity smoothie recipe. Oh my goodness, there's a lot to talk about here. Your health journal to track your healing journey. It's a value of over $1,700. And you can get all this for only $127 today. Oh, but you're going to get a one-time bonus too. For today only, you can add the video masterclass. And this is where I'm going to talk you through the program and answer your questions. That's a $97 value for only $10 today, right? So I don't want you to miss out. I'd love you to take action now. The truth is that we just have one practitioner in this small practice, and that's me, right? And I can only accept 8 clients per month, because I provide my clients with a lot of personalized care and time, right? And the truth is, I'm just going to be flat out honest with everybody that I am very selective in who I choose. I only want to work with people who are really serious and committed about getting their health back. So I want to ask you right now, are you serious? Are you committed? Are you ready? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you just done with this? Because if you are, then I'm here to help you and we can get moving on this. So we turn on this webinar just long enough to fill our openings each month. So if you're seeing this webinar, then that means if you're ready to get your health back, then it's time to take action now. And I don't want you to waste another day on the wrong path, right? So go ahead and click the Get Started Now button, or you can scroll down to the bottom and there's an order form there too. You're going to receive your Living Matrix registration link right away, plus your 30-day quick start program. It's all going to come to you on a download immediately, so you can get started right away. So I want to thank you for learning with me today. You guys hung in there for over an hour, and I thank you so much for listening. And I hope that I was really able to give you that spark of hope that I first felt when I learned about functional medicine. I look forward to supporting you every single step of the way and watching you get your health back. I love you, and take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.